This video is about Anubis balances souls until chaos attacks. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. In the realm of Jura, where shadows dance beneath the watchful gaze of ancient stars, Anubis, the jackal-headed god, stood vigilant by the winged scale. Here, he balanced the hearts of the deceased against the feather of Maat, the embodiment of truth. Each soul that approached trembled before him, for their fates rested on the edge of a blade carved by the hands of judgment. The skies above Jura crackled with twilight, a veil of deep indigo stretching endlessly. In this sublime yet treacherous land, mists swirled and whispered secrets of long-lost souls. Anubis wore a solemn expression, his dark eyes reflecting the weight of his duties. Each heart he judged was a tale of love, loss, victory, and folly woven into the fabric of existence. This day began like any other, the air thick with anticipation as the first soul emerged from the shadows. A brave warrior, his body marred by the scars of battle, stepped into the light, heart heavy with regret. "I fought valiantly," he declared, voice echoing with both pride and sorrow. "But did I honor my ancestors?" Anubis studied the warrior, sensing the sincerity buried in layers of doubt. "Your valor was unmatched, yet your hubris tainted the honor you sought," he replied, placing the heart on one side of the scale. The feather of Maat, radiant and pure, rested on the other. The balance teetered ominously, and the warrior's fate hung delicately between redemption and eternal darkness. Just as the scale began to shift, a tremor quaked through Jura. The air thickened, and dark clouds gathered, a foreboding storm brewing in the heart of chaos. Anubis sensed a disturbance in the shadow realm. Gone were the whispers of souls in transit, as silence enveloped the scale, pregnant with dread. Who dares disrupt the balance? Anubis growled, his voice a rumble of thunder. The warrior before him faltered, casting fearful glances into the swirling shadows. The weight of despair hung palpable in the air, and Anubis felt a surge of unease creeping along his spine. Before he could sense the source of the chaos, a monstrous being erupted from the gloom, a hybrid of serpent and crow, with eyes ablaze like molten gold. It was Apep, the embodiment of chaos and destruction, slithering forth with the intent to shatter the harmony of existence. "Your reign is over, Anubis!" Apep hissed, voice like rusted metal scraping against stone. "I shall consume the souls you hold so dear." With a roar that shook the heavens, Anubis cast aside the warrior's heart and leaped into battle. His divine form radiated dark energy, a stark contrast to the swirling chaos of Apep. In that moment, destiny wove its threads tightly around them, intertwining their fates. Apep lunged, fangs bared, aiming to engulf Anubis in a maw of darkness. But the god of the afterlife sidestepped, drawing his sacred dagger, the kopis of judgment. It gleamed with the power of the ancestors, a weapon forged in the fires of the underworld, keen to restore balance. "Your chaos shall not reign today," Anubis shouted, lunging forward. He struck at Apep's scales, each blow sending ripples of energy through the air. The serpent recoiled, slashing with its tail. Anubis dodged, feeling the wind of its fury brush past him, the essence of death swirling in its wake. With each clash, the scale of souls behind him quaked. The hearts of countless warriors began to tremble, caught in a war between order and chaos. Anubis could sense their fear, he was their gatekeeper. Failure meant not only his demise, but the enslavement of their spirits. "Enough of this!" Apep roared, summoning dark tendrils that lashed out like whips, aiming to ensnare Anubis. The god of the dead evaded with the grace of a shadow, but the binding darkness continued to spread, threatening to envelop the scale itself. "Do you not see?" Apep taunted. "Without chaos, there can be no life. You cling to your precious balance, but reality is forged in discord." The serpent lunged once more, this time wrapping around Anubis, squeezing with the strength of despair. Using his will, Anubis summoned the power of the ancestors, channeling their strength into a blinding light. With a mighty force, he broke free, igniting the air around him. "I will not allow you to twist the hearts of mortals," he declared, launching into a counterattack. As the two beings clashed, thunder roared overhead, and the fabric of Jura trembled. Souls trapped in limbo looked on in horror, their fates hanging by a thread. Anubis struck with a series of powerful blows, each one echoing through the realm, illuminating the darkness around them. But Apep was relentless, coiling and striking, each attack a reminder of the chaos that lurked beyond the light. "You fight for fools," he hissed. "They do not deserve your mercy." As he spoke, shadows swirled, engulfing the scale and threatening to tip the balance irrevocably. Just then, a beam of light pierced the darkened skies, revealing the presence of other gods. Thoth, a wise scribe, appeared, wings unfurling like a storm. "We must unite," he proclaimed, golden quill in hand, ready to inscribe the fates of all. Beside him stood Sekhmet, the fierce lioness goddess, her eyes burning with the fire of vengeance. Anubis, hold strong! Sekhmet shouted, her roar echoing like a battle cry. We shall vanquish this chaos together. With renewed vigor, the trio surged forward, channeling their divine powers into a single strike against Apep. The clash sent shockwaves through Duet, and for a moment the balance hung in the air, the scales wavering precariously. Your unity is futile, Apep screeched, unleashing a wave of shadowy tendrils that threatened to snuff out their light. I'm the storm that cannot be quelled. But in that moment of despair, Anubis sensed a glimmer of hope. He focused, merging his essence with that of Thoth and Sekhmet, creating a tempest of radiant energy. With the hearts of the brave and the wisdom of the ages, he thundered, "We shall restore what you seek to destroy." Together, they unleashed the combined power of a blinding ray of light that cut through the darkness. Apep shrieked, feeling the sting of their unity as the radiant energy engulfed him. The chaos that he embodied began to unravel, the shadows peeling away like a torn tapestry. As the dust settled, Anubis stood tall, flanked by his allies. The scales behind him glowed, the hearts returning to their rightful place, each one bursting with the hope of resurrection. Yet, the god of the dead felt a lingering dread within him. Though we have won this battle, Apep will not rest, Thoth warned, eyes narrowing with concern. The balance of the cosmos is delicate, we must prepare for the war that is to come. Sekhmet growled in agreement, her claws unsheathed. Let us gather our strength and rally the other gods, this threat is far from over. Anubis nodded, his gaze piercing the horizon where the faint outlines of the living world could be seen. We stand at the precipice of a new dawn, he declared, voice resolute. But I will not falter, the souls entrusted to me shall find peace, no matter the trials that await us. The gods turned their attention to the horizon, where chaos still simmered, knowing that an epic war loomed ahead. With hearts laden with purpose, they prepared to face the destiny that awaited them, a convergence of light and darkness that would test their honor and resolve. As the winds howled through Duat, Anubis lingered, sensing the weight of every soul. Each heartbeat echoed a promise of perseverance and redemption. The battle against chaos had only just begun, and the heart of the underworld would beat strong in the face of tragedy. To be continued. As the dust settled in the wake of their fierce confrontation, the air thickened with the tension that surged through the realm of Durat. Apep had retreated into the shadows, but the scent of chaos lingered like smoke in the air, an omen of what was yet to come. Anubis, Sekhmet, and Thoth stood united, their energies still crackling from the battle, hearts resolute but minds racing with the uncertainties of fate. We must awaken the divine council, Thoth urged, his quill already inscribing the names of the gods upon a scroll of fate. There will be no peace until Apep is vanquished, he will return with vengeance tenfold. His strength stems from despair, we must not let fear seep into the hearts of mortals, Sekhmet added, her ferocious gaze darting through the swirling mists. The living must be shielded, or there will become pawns in Apep's game. Anubis felt the weight of their words. Then we shall summon the gods, but first I must address the souls who tremble in limbo. They deserve knowledge of their fates, not the false shadows of despair. With that, Anubis strode toward the weighing scale, the heart of his domain. Each step echoed with the memories of souls lost in the abyss, their whispers weaving through the thick air of Duat. As he approached, the scale shimmered, revealing the myriad faces of the departed warriors, mothers, children all waiting for judgment. Fear not, Anubis proclaimed, his voice resonating through the realm. As long as breath remains in my body, I will stand vigilant, the balance will be restored. Yet even as he spoke, Apep's laughter rang out in the distance, a chilling sound that slithered into the very marrow of his bones. Your words are empty, Anubis, your precious scales will crumble before my might. Let him come, Sekhmet growled, claws flexing with anticipation. Each ounce of his darkness will be met with the fury of our light. That may not be enough, Thoth said, his brow furrowed in thought. We need allies, mortals must be rallied, they must know they are part of this war. With determination, Anubis nodded. We will descend upon the world of the living. If we can ignite their spirits, they will rise against chaos as one. The gods joined hands in a circle, channeling their power into a singular form, a portal swirling with colors unseen. With a flash that echoed through Durat, they stepped into the mortal realm, the vibrant landscape stretching before them like a canvas waiting to be painted anew. They emerged in a valley steeped in twilight, where banners fluttered and fires crackled, a gathering of warriors preparing for battle. The clang of weapons and the cries of kin echoed in the air, a symphony of courage and determination. Look, Anubis called, his heart swelling at the sight of brave souls ready to fight. We are here to deliver an urgent message. The darkness of Apep threatens us all. The warriors turned, their expressions shifting from confusion to awe. Among them stood a fierce leader, a woman with hair like cascading flame, her voice commanding. I am Kayla, chieftain of this tribe. Speak quickly, god of the dead, for we have little patience for tales. Time is of the essence. Thoth interjected, stepping forward with his quill. A great battle looms, one that will determine the fate of our worlds. Apep spreads chaos, and we must stand united. Gasps rose among the warriors, and whispers rippled through the crowd. But how can we, mere mortals, fight a god? The voice called from the back, laced with doubt. Sekhmet stepped forward, her eyes ablaze. You are not mere mortals, you are warriors, children of the earth, forged in the fires of struggle. Unite with us, and together we will forge a new destiny. Kayla glanced at her warriors, and the flicker of hope ignited in their eyes. We have faced many foes, but a god of chaos, this is beyond our understanding. Anubis approached, his voice steady. In the face of despair, courage can ignite flames of defiance. Your ancestors fought against darkness. They are with you now. Join us, and together we will push back against the tide of chaos. A murmur of determination washed over the crowd, and Kayla stepped forward, raising her sword high. We shall not stand idly by. We will fight for our homes, our families, and the very essence of life. With a roar, the warriors answered, weapons lifting, hearts ignited by the flicker of hope. For honor, for our kin! As the fervor rose, Anubis felt a powerful surge of energy. The weight of the world pressed upon him, yet within him, the strength of countless souls surged, whispering promises of perseverance. Gather your warriors, Kayla, that he commanded, eyes gleaming with determination. Prepare for war, for chaos shall not rest until it consumes all. In a matter of hours, the valley transformed into a fortress, warriors donning armor and painting their faces with symbols of protection. Anubis, Sekhmet, and Thoth guided them, revealing the wisdom of strategy. They trained in the art of battle, forging bonds of brotherhood and sisterhood, each warrior embracing their destiny. The air was electric as the sun dipped low, casting shadows that danced with anticipation. As night descended, a deep silence enveloped the valley, a moment of reflection before the storm. But in the distance, a rumble echoed, a harbinger of doom. Apep was coming. Stand strong, Kayla commanded, rallying her warriors. This is our moment. Just as the moon rose high, transforming the sky into a realm of silver, Apep's dark form materialized on the horizon, slithering like a malevolent serpent. His eyes glowed with an otherworldly fire, a reminder of the chaos that lay ahead. Foolish mortals, Apep hissed, voice dripping with disdain. You dare challenge me? Anubis stepped forward, his form towering like a dark sentinel. You will not take what is not yours, Apep. We stand united, and we will fight for every soul you seek to engulf. With a roar that shook the heavens, Apep lunged forward, tendrils of darkness slicing through the air. The warriors braced themselves, hearts pounding in unison. Anubis, Sekhmet, and Thoth unleashed their divine powers, a blend of light and shadow clashing against the encroaching chaos. Charge! Kayla shouted, and the warriors surged forward like a tidal wave, a relentless force meeting the dark serpent head-on. They fought with valor, each strike fueled by the legacy of their ancestors, hearts burning with the fire of determination. Anubis joined the fray, wielding the kopusha of judgment with precision, each swing cutting through the tendrils of darkness. Beside him, Sekhmet tore through the chaos, claws rending the very fabric of despair. Thoth danced among them, inscribing the path of fate with his quill, guiding the warriors in their pursuit of victory. A cacophony erupted as the clash of steel met the snarl of shadows. The battlefield transformed into a maelstrom of chaos and resolve, warriors fighting valiantly against the tide that sought to consume them. But Apep was relentless, his serpentine form weaving through the chaos, striking with precision and malice. You think you can win against chaos? We are one and the same, he screamed, tendrils lashing out, ensnaring warriors who dared to challenge him. Fight back! Anubis roared, rallying the warriors as he cut through the darkness. Draw from the strength of your ancestors, let their honor guide you. And so they fought, hearts beating as one, each warrior embracing the essence of courage and honor. Anubis felt the tide beginning to shift, the scales of fate tilting in their favor. Now we strike as one. Kayla called, her voice piercing through the chaos. For every life lost, for every soul we save. With a collective roar, the warriors surged forward, a united force propelled by hope. Anubis felt a surge of energy from their resolve, and he channeled it into a devastating strike against Apep. The blade of the kopusha glowed with an ethereal light, a beacon of hope cutting through the darkness. With a final, resounding clash, the darkness erupted, tendrils retreating as Apep shrieked in fury. "This is not over," he thundered, disappearing into the shadows, his presence lingering like a storm cloud. As the dust settled, silence enveloped the battlefield. The warriors stood victorious, breaths coming in ragged gasps, hearts pounding with the realization of their triumph. Anubis surveyed the scene, pride swelling in his chest. "You have fought with honor," he declared, voice echoing through the valley. "Today, you have defied chaos, but do not let your guard down, the battle for balance rages on." Kayla stepped forward, determination shining in her gaze. "We will stand ready, Anubis, for the souls entrusted to us." As the last flickers of twilight faded, the valley stood transformed, once a gathering of hesitant warriors. It now pulsed with the energy of victory. Yet in the recesses of Anubis's mind, ominous whispers warned of the storm still brewing. Apep had retreated, but the serpent of chaos was far from defeated. This battle had merely kindled the embers of a greater war. The warriors gathered around Anubis and Kayla, the fervor of their recent triumph still crackling in the air. Each warrior bore the marks of battle, blood mingling with sweat and the scent of earth rising from their exertions. Kayla, with her fiery hair and indomitable spirit, surveyed her people. "We have faced darkness together," she said, her voice ringing like a bell. "But we must prepare. Apep will not rest until he devours our hope." "Wisdom speaks through your heart, chieftain," Thoth replied, his quill poised as if to inscribe their fate anew. "We must anticipate his next move. His chaos is ever shifting, like clouds before a storm." Anubis stepped forward, drawing upon the energy of the souls behind him, the weight of their hopes urging him on. "This was but a skirmish. The true battle lies ahead. We must fortify our defenses and gather more allies. Apep will strike at the heart of the mortal realm, sowing discord among the living." The warriors nodded, determination hardening their expressions. "We will scout the surrounding lands, rally more clans, and prepare for the dark tide," Kayla declared, her voice imbued with purpose. As plans were set into motion, Anubis felt a familiar weight pressing against his chest, a blend of responsibility and dread. He turned his gaze toward the horizon, where the dim glow of the living world shimmered. "I will venture into the lands of the living," he announced. "There are souls yet unclaimed, warriors who do not yet know their calling. I will awaken their spirits." With a nod, Sekhmet approached him, her fierce countenance softening. "You walk a dangerous path, brother. The veil between life and death is thin, and Apep's minions may already be at work." "I will not falter," Anubis replied, resolve sharpening his features. "The living must know of the darkness that encroaches. They are the key to restoring balance." As the sun dipped below the horizon, Anubis summoned the power of Jewett, his essence shifting as he stepped into the mortal realm. The world unfolded before him, lush fields bathed in twilight, towns humming with life, and the distant laughter of children echoed like music in the night air. Yet, beneath the surface of this tranquility stirred a tempest of uncertainty. In a small village nestled in the valleys, a gathering of villagers stood around a flickering fire, their faces illuminated by the flames. They spoke in hushed tones of woman's importance, eyes gleaming with fear. "Have you heard of the shadows that whisper at night?" the woman said, her voice quaking. "They say Apep's minions hunt the innocent." "Such tales are nothing but myths," the man scoffed, though the tremor in his voice betrayed his fear. "We must focus on our harvest and not the idle tales of old." Anubis, cloaked in shadows, observed them carefully. He could feel the pulse of their hearts, the weight of their struggles and resilience. This was the moment he had come for, to ignite in them the spark of courage. With a sweep of his hand, he revealed himself, the flames bending to illuminate his form. "People of the earth," he called, his voice rich and resonant, echoing through the valley. The villagers gasped, fear mingling with awe as they fell silent, eyes wide. "Who dares disturb our peace?" A brave youth stepped forward, brandishing a spear with quaking hands. "Are you a spirit or a demon?" "I am Anubis, god of the dead," he declared, his voice commanding yet gentle. "I come to warn you. A great darkness encroaches, and the chaos of Apep will soon engulf your lives if you do not stand united against it." Fear coursed through the villagers' veins, and whispers of doubt rose like smoke. "What can we do against the god?" a woman asked, her voice trembling. Anubis stepped closer, his presence enveloping them like a protective shroud. "You are not mere mortals. You carry the essence of warriors within you. Each of you has ancestors who fought against darkness. Their spirits reside in your hearts. You must awaken them." The youth lowered his spear, eyes narrowing as he felt the weight of Anubis' words. "And if we refuse?" "Then chaos shall consume you, turning your kin into shadows of despair," Anubis replied, the gravity of his words settling in the air. "But if you choose to stand against the tide, you shall find strength and unity. Rise up, and I will guide you." The villagers exchanged glances, uncertainty dancing in their eyes, yet a flicker of hope ignited within them. Kayla's words echoed in Anubis' mind. Courage could spark flames of defiance. "Gather your kin," he urged. "Prepare for the darkness that approaches. Together, you will find strength." Slowly, a murmur of agreement spread among the villagers. "We will not be cowed," the youth declared, raising his spear with newfound determination. "We will fight for our homes." With the resolve of the villagers secured, Anubis guided them, revealing the way to harness their ancestors' strength, teaching them the art of unity and strategy. Night after night, they trained, hearts igniting with the fervor of their lineage. Anubis felt their spirits rising, a beacon of hope shining brighter against the encroaching darkness. Meanwhile, back in the valley, Kayla and her warriors prepared for the impending storm. They fortified their defenses, gathering supplies and crafting weapons, each warrior embracing their role in the grand tapestry of fate. They trained relentlessly under the watchful eyes of Anubis, Sekhmet, and Thoth, who guided them with wisdom and strength. As the days passed, the tension in the air grew palpable. Rumors of disturbing omens spread among the people, tales of shadows that crept into their dreams. Children awoke screaming, haunted by visions of Apep's dark minions lurking at the edges of their world. Then, the day came when the earth trembled with foreboding. The skies darkened, rolling with storm clouds as Apep's chaos descended upon the land. The air crackled with energy, and a chilling wind howled through the valley. Anubis stood at the forefront, heart racing as he sensed the darkness approaching. "Prepare yourselves," he commanded, voice resonating with urgency. The warriors gathered around him, weapons raised, determination etched on their faces. "Today, we faced the chaos head-on." The ground shook as a serpent's form emerged from the shadows, Apep coiling through the air like an omen of doom. "You think your little band of mortals can withstand me?" he hissed, voice laced with venom. "I shall consume your spirits one by one." "Not today, Apep." Anubis roared, stepping forward, the kopish of judgment gleaming with divine light. "We will stand against you, protect the souls entrusted to us." With a deafening roar, Apep lunged forward, tendrils of darkness reaching out to ensnare them. The warriors surged forward, guided by Anubis' unwavering resolve. "Charge!" Kayla cried, and they rushed into the fray as one mortal and divine, united against chaos. The battlefield erupted into chaos, the clash of weaponry mingling with the sounds of divine power. Anubis fought valiantly, every swing of the kopish resonating with the strength of the ancestors, each strike a hymn of honor, each blow a promise of protection. Sekhmet tore through the shadows, her claws rending flesh and darkness with equal ferocity. Beside her, Thoth wielded the power of knowledge, inscribing the fates of their enemies with deft strokes of his quill, crafting barriers of light that shielded their warriors from Apep's malevolence. But Apep was relentless, striking with an unpredictable fury that threatened to unravel their unity. "You cannot fight chaos," he bellowed, summoning dark tendrils that lashed out like whips, ensnaring warriors and pulling them into the abyss. "Despair will be your end." "Focus!" Anubis shouted, rallying the warriors. "Draw from your ancestors, remember the strength of your kin, let their spirits guide you." In that moment, the warriors found their footing, hearts igniting with ancestral fire. They fought back with renewed vigor, the legacy of their blood channeling through their veins. "For our homes," they shouted, voices joining in a symphony of defiance. The battle raged on, the clash of chaos and order weaving a tapestry of despair and hope upon the battlefield. Anubis felt the tide shifting, the balance hung perilously in the air, tipping toward darkness. He summoned the light of the souls he had guided, channeling their strength into a blinding strike against Apep. With a final, resounding clash, Anubis unleashed the full. As Apep lashed out with tendrils of darkness, Anubis felt the weight of despair pressing down upon the battlefield. The chaos echoed in the air like a thunderous storm, and with every swing of his kopish, he felt the pulse of fate shifting, the balance teetering on the edge of annihilation. "Do not falter," he shouted to the warriors surrounding him, their faces lit with determination and fear alike. "Remember why you fight, for every soul that Apep seeks to consume, for every life that has ever battled against the darkness." His voice rang out like a battle horn, rallying the hearts of the living. At his side, Sekhmet roared, a fierce lioness against the encroaching shadows. Her claws glinted in the fading light, and with each lunge she tore through the tendrils that sought to ensnare them. "Feel the power of your ancestors, let their fury guide your strikes," she bellowed, her words igniting the fervor in the hearts of the warriors. Thoth, perched above on a rocky outcrop, wielded his golden quill like a weapon. "Each stroke of my pen shall weave the destinies we desire," he declared, inscribing glyphs of protection in the air, barriers of radiant light shielding the warriors from Apep's grasp. "We are not mere mortals, we are the children of gods." As the shadows writhed around them, Anubis focused his energy into a single point, feeling the vibrations of the countless souls he had guided through Juret. By the power of Maat, I summon the essence of those who fought before us, he roared, raising the kopish high, its blade shimmering with ethereal light. Let their strength fuel our victory. The ground beneath them trembled, and a spectral army surged forth from Anubis' invocation, phantoms of fallen warriors rising to join the fray. Their spectral forms shimmered, clad in the armor of their time, weapons drawn and eyes ablaze with determination. For honor, they cried, a haunting chorus resonating through the battlefield as they charged alongside the living. Apep recoiled, hissing in fury. You cannot fight what you do not understand. Chaos is the very essence of existence, he screamed, unleashing a surge of darkness that coiled and snapped like a living serpent. With a flick of his serpentine tail, he sent a wave of shadows crashing toward Anubis and his allies. Stand firm, Anubis commanded, rallying the warriors. With every heartbeat, we shall push back the tide of despair. As the darkness crashed against them, the spectral warriors met the onslaught, their forms intertwining with the living, merging past and present into a singular force of defiance. The battlefield erupted into chaos, a cacophony of clashing steel, roars of battle, and cries of the fallen. The air thickened with tension, and as the warriors fought back against the encroaching chaos, Anubis felt time stretch, each moment an eternity filled with adrenaline and purpose. Kayla, he called, spotting the chieftain amidst the fray, a fiery hair beacon of hope. We must strike at Apep's heart, channel your ancestors' strength into a single blow. Kayla nodded, fierce determination etched in her features. Warriors, gather around me. We strike as one, she commanded, raising her sword high. The warriors rallied, forming a circle around her, hearts beating in unison, drawing from the well of ancestral strength. Together, they channeled their energy, their weapons glowing bright with the power of unity. For our homes, they chanted, voices rising in a crescendo that reverberated through the battlefield. With a fierce battle cry, Kayla led the charge, her sword alight with the strength of generations as they lunged toward Apep. The serpent recoiled, eyes filled with rage and disbelief. You think your pitiful unity can defeat me? He spat, tendrils swelling around him as he prepared to unleash his fury. Together, Anubis roared, summoning the light of the souls around him. Together, we shall restore the balance. He thrust his kopish forward, unleashing a wave of blinding light that surged toward Apep, illuminating the darkness. The impact was cataclysmic. Light clashed against shadow in a brilliant explosion of energy. The very fabric of Juret trembled as the scales behind Anubis shimmered, the hearts of the departed resonating with the power of their legacy. Apep's form twisted and contorted, the light unraveling his darkness, but he retaliated with a screech that pierced the heavens. I will not be extinguished, he howled, fury fueling his chaotic essence. Tendrils lashed out, ensnaring warriors and drawing them into the darkness. Anubis! Sekhmet cried, her voice edged with urgency. We must protect them, the living cannot fall to chaos. She leaped into the fray, tearing through the tendrils with ferocity. Find the heart. Anubis shouted, eyes locked onto Apep's center. If we strike true, we can vanquish him once and for all. The battlefield swelled with chaos, as Anubis and the warriors fought against the tide of Apep's darkness. Thoth, with his quill in hand, inscribed a circle of protection around the warriors, anchoring them against the onslaught of shadows. Hold strong, he urged, his voice steady amidst the storm. We must channel our power into the heart of the serpent. Kayla, sword raised high, led the charge once more. For every ancestor who fell, for every soul that has ever fought against despair, she shouted, embodying the spirit of the living and the dead alike. As they surged forward, Anubis felt the energy of the ancestors enveloping him, echoing through the hearts of the warriors. Together, they became a force of light against Apep's chaos, breaking through the tendrils that sought to ensnare them. With one final, mighty thrust, Kayla struck at Apep's heart, the energy of their combined resolve exploding forth in a brilliant flash. Anubis felt the pulse of destiny coursing through him as he joined the strike, the kopish singing through the air, embodying the essence of every soul lost to chaos. May your essence find peace. Anubis roared as the blade pierced the heart of Apep, unleashing a wave of radiant energy that burst forth like the dawn breaking through the darkest of nights. Apep screamed, a sound that reverberated through the very fabric of existence, and in that moment, the chaos unraveled. Shadows peeled away like a curtain being drawn back, revealing the brilliance of light that surged through the battlefield. The serpent's form dissipated, tendrils of darkness unraveling like threads of a broken tapestry, and the air filled with the echo of anguished cries as Apep's essence was banished from Juret. As the light subsided, silence fell over the battlefield, and Anubis stood among the warriors, hearts racing, breaths coming in ragged gasps. They had survived it together. The balance had been restored, if only for now. Like, Sekhmet exclaimed, pointing to the horizon where the first rays of dawn began to break through the remnants of darkness. We have vanquished chaos, but we must remain vigilant. Anubis nodded, weary but resolute. This was but a chapter in our eternal struggle. Abet may be defeated, but chaos will always seek to return. We must learn from this and prepare for what lies ahead. With the warriors still gathered around him, Kayla stepped forward, her expression fierce yet filled with gratitude. We fought not as mortals, but as a united force. Anubis, you have awakened something within us. We will rise again should darkness threaten our realm. Together, we are stronger than any foe, Anubis replied, pride swelling in his chest. You have proven that courage and honor can withstand even the darkest of storms. As the sun rose high in the sky, casting golden light over the battlefield, Anubis felt the presence of the spirits surrounding them, a reminder of the souls they had fought for. The weight of their legacy rested on his shoulders, a promise he intended to uphold. Let us return to Jurat, he announced, his voice imbued with purpose. We must honor those who fought alongside us, the souls who paved the way for our victory. Together, we shall ensure that their sacrifice lives on. As they made their way back to the threshold of Jurat, Anubis turned to face the warriors one last time. This battle is only the beginning. We are the guardians of balance, and together we shall face whatever darkness lies ahead. With hearts unified, they stepped through the portal, entering the realm of Jurat, where the souls awaited their legacy forever intertwined with the living. In the heart of the underworld, the balance was restored, but the journey toward destiny had only just begun. To be continued.